Hey, welcome back everyone to another pre-war video. This is volume 5. There'll be two halves to this video. The first half will be cards which I already showcased and shared with you in my top 50 Yankees of all time. I got into the players and their career, but I never got into the sets, so that's what I'm gonna do in the first half. To start things off, I have this 1923 Willard's Chocolate card of Wei Hoyt Grade 1. This card has a blank back. The set consists of 180 cards. They measure 2 by 3 1/4, and they were distributed out of Canada, which makes it a little tough to own. Not crazy hard, but a little tough. Distributed by the Canadian Candy Company. The pictures are in sepia tone, and the pictures were borrowed from the E120 American Caramel set. The names that grace this set are Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Grover Cleveland Alexander, Walter Johnson, Tris Speaker, to name a few. In looking for Wei Hoyt, I stumbled upon this one for about 20 bucks, and I was pretty happy that it came back a 1 and not like a reprint or something. Next up, I have a 1931 W517 card of Bob Musil. This card I bought raw, got it graded, and I'm happy it's authentic and came back a 1. It has a blank back. It's believed to have been produced by the Exhibit Supply Company. There's 54 cards in total in the set, and they measure 3 by 4 inches. This one's in blue ink. They could also be found in purple, green, magenta, and sepia tone. Store owners used to give them out. They used to cut them up haphazardly or give them out to kids, and the kids used to cut them up recklessly, thus alluding to the low grades. Card collectors have a hard time giving this set a credibility due to its size, but names like Babe Ruth, Jimmy Fox, Mel Out, Lou Gehrig, to name a few, make these cards highly desirable and also affordable at the same time. Next, I have a 1940 play ball card of Bill Dickey, Grade 5. There's 240 cards in total in this set, measuring 2.5 inches by 3 1/8. They're very similar to the 39 set, to which they're black and white. This one's card 7 out of 144 in the first series. The second series is known as the Superman backs, because in that series, they had Superman gum advertised along the back bottom. It also has a border with a little bit cartoon drawing of a mitt, a bat, a glove, and the name inscribed in a banner with a nickname. Some of the names highlighted in this set are Shoeless Joe Jackson, Nap Lashway, Honus Wagner, Tris Speaker, Walter Johnson, to name a few, making this set very desirable amongst collectors. Next, I have a 1941 play ball card of King Kong Charlie Keller, Grade 3. And as you could tell, they finally managed to get away from the black and white and give you color. As you could tell in the back, it's very similar to the first 2 years. And in the front, one thing that you'll notice is they managed to incorporate 2 styles. The Art Deco design found in the Diamond Star set and the comic art found in the 38 Gaudi. And although there's only 72 cards, there's a few Hall of Famers that you'll know. And it's the first official rookie card of Pee Wee Reese found in this set. And also, it's the only set that has all 3 DiMaggios, Joe, Dom, and Vince. Here I'll show you the evolution from 39 to 41. And after 41, they stopped producing cards because of the war. After the war was over, they came back stronger than ever as the Bowman Gum Incorporated. So for those that didn't know, yeah, Bowman first started off as Play Ball and evolved into Bowman. Now, there's a little debate on the card community on what's considered pre-war. Some say literally before the war started, making Play Ball one of the last sets of the era, and others state it's before 48, in which Bowman and Leaf kicked things off with the vintage era of card collecting. Within that gray area, though, there's hardly any sets to be found, so I'd love to know what your thoughts are if you care to comment below. But in collecting cards for my top 50 Yankees of all time, I stumbled upon 2 sets. First, I'd like to show you this 1946-47 Propaganda Monte card of Spud Chandler. I bought this card for the top 50 players. It's 180 cards within the set, measuring at 2 1/8 by 3 1/8, produced out of Cuba. It's of baseball players, boxers, wrestlers, and Cuban League baseball players. In the back, you can see it says Los Reyes del Deportes, meaning the king of the sports. I could tell you one thing. This card is very thin. It's almost like magazine paper. When I received this card, I didn't even take it out of the top loader to inspect it. I just sent it off and hoped that it was authentic. And it was. It came back a 1. Some of the names to be found are Ruth, Cobb, Gehringer, DiMaggio, Malat. The boxers are like Jack Dempsey, James Braddock, Max Schmeling, Joe Louis. So this set is highly desirable if you could find good subjects of it. Now, my next gray area card is this 1947 bomb break card of Joe Gordon. There's 44 baseball players and 4 boxers within this set, bringing a total to 48. And buyer beware is all I could tell you when you want to collect these cards from the set. I bought a square corner card prior to this rounded one for the Yankee video. And when I submitted that square card to SGC, they simply returned it ungradable with questionable authenticity. And thank God they refunded me my money. I returned the card to get my refund from eBay, and then I bought this rounded card. All I could tell you after I researched was that there's a collector named Ted Zanadakis from Pennsylvania who collected bomb break cards when he was a kid. And in looking at his collection, all his cards have a rounded corner. And in further researching, in 1980 in a warehouse, they found boxes of all these square corner cards, which later on there's debate that these are all reprints. But the problem is, PSA grades these cards, the square ones, thus lending legitimacy to these cards being authentic. But to me, it all goes to show you how PSA is questionable with their authentication, because with PWCC and not finding alterations in the cards, and with these reprints, and they grade them and give them legitimacy, all I could tell you is buyer beware when it comes to collecting these bomb break cards. Now, here's my first pickup for the video, a 1933 Gowdy Mickey Cochrane card. The Gowdy Company was founded by Enos Gordon Gowdy. He opened his first factory in Boston, Massachusetts in 1919. He then debuted the baseball card in 1933. They measure 2 3/8 by 2 7/8 and consist of 240 cards in the set. Well, 239 with the exception of Nap Lajoie, which was later received after requesting for it by mail. Mickey Cochrane is considered one of the best catchers in baseball history. He won 2 MVPs over his career and was a great table setter in front of Al Simmons and Jimmy Fox. He's actually the first catcher to score for 100 runs with 100 RBIs. Unfortunately, in 1937, Bump Hadley hit Cochrane with a pitch in the head in retaliation of a home run in the previous at-bat. This was resulting in his early retirement. They didn't wear helmets in those days, and this incident started the cry for helmets in baseball. Needless to say, he's a great member of the Hall of Fame. Now, following up that sad story, I'm gonna show you this 1928 Yingling's ice cream card of Harry Hammond. It's a grade 2. The set consists of 60 cards altogether. They measure at 1 3/8 by 2.5. Now, Yingling would offer you 1 gallon of ice cream when you showed them that you collected all 60 cards from the set. Or if you gave them a Babe Ruth card for a card of ice cream or a $5 scooter, which makes a Babe Ruth card highly sought after. As far as Harry Hammond goes, he was known as one of the best righty hitters ever to play the game, next to Rogers Hornsby. And he was largely overshadowed by Ty Cobb by being in the same team in Detroit. He was known as a hitting machine and fell into a bad habit of winning titles every other year, starting from 1921 and then in 23, 25, and 27. Unfortunately, in 1931, he struggled with arthritis in his wrist, and he couldn't bear the pain enough to continue his baseball career, retiring after 1932. He passed away in 1951 and was then elected into the Hall of Fame in 1952. Next, I have this 1938 Gowdy Heads Up card of Charlie Gehringer. I simply love this card. It's a grade 2.5. I'm going to try to collect all the cards in the Heads Up, the first of which I showed in a previous video of this Bobby Doerr card. So here's 2. As far as this card goes, I love it so much because you could tell it has rubber band creases here. And although it's a little dirty, I love the fact that it tells a story. Basically, some little kid had his card collection he used to travel with to the playground, wherever it was, got it a little bit dirty, got a little bit chewed up with the rubber band, but it's like I'm holding a piece of history that's been passed down to me over time. I love this card because of that. As far as Charlie Gehringer goes, he's a lifetime Detroit Tiger who played for 19 years for second base. He has a .320 lifetime average. He led the league in 1937 with .371 and won the MVP that year. He hit over 300 over 13 seasons and had 7 seasons with over 200 hits. He was widely considered the best second baseman of all time because he merged one of the greatest defenses along with his great bat. His bat is what earned him the nickname of the Mechanical Man. Now, let me make some room for my last debut card of this video. Here I'm going to share with you a T205 Eddie Collins mouth closed card. It's a grade 3, very beautiful card. I'm going to share with you contrasting styles with this Johnny Bates card, T205. As you can tell, the National League has a facsimile autograph, which is the first to ever have signatures on a card, even though it's a facsimile. And the American League has a diamond with the baseball design. As far as the back rarity goes, I'm going to show you Eddie Collins is a Hassan cork tip cigarettes. It's actually a factory 30, which is more scarcer than the usual factory 649, which is considered 12% scarcity. And Johnny Bates is a sovereign cigarettes, which is a back scarcity of 8.5. The scarcest are broadleaf, Hindu, and drum, all three being scarcer than 0.3%. That's pretty amazing. As far as Eddie Collins go, let me enlighten you a little bit on his career. He was nicknamed Cocky. He played second base, had a great bat and speed. One of only 5 players to steal for 6 bases in a game. And he actually did that twice. He had 3,315 hits over his career. He also became the 6th player to hit for over 3,000 hits. And he was also 8th on the all-time steals list with 741. He won the MVP in 1914 and had a lifetime average of 333. His WAR is pretty amazing also. He has a lifetime WAR of 123.9. He was a 6-time World Series champion between the A's and the White Sox. After 1914, because of the national recession, he was sold off to the White Sox for a record $50,000. And his lasting legacy with the White Sox was in 1919, to which he helped lead the team to the World Series. The same World Series which was led by 8 players, which labeled the team as the Black Sox. Fortunately for Collins, he was never implicated in this ugly scandal, which kept his career untarnished. Thanks to this, he thrived with a baseball career worthy to an induction in the Hall of Fame in 1939. Now, there goes the pickups for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't, subscribe, and comment if you like. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.